Good morning, drafts, good morning, checkers world. Last day of the year, as well as last day of the world title matches. So yesterday already, it has been decided that Jan Groenendijk, representing Netherlands, is the new world champion, collecting the title from Yuri Anikeyev from Ukraine. And today, in 2 minutes, there is the tiebreak between women starting right now. So Daria Tkachenko is having white pieces and starts the tiebreak, starts the game against the current world champion from Ukraine, Victoria Motrichko. Who will be the world champion? I will start the poll. Hello everyone on the chat. Hello Eric. Hello Martina. Martina just sent me the video of Vasyl Ivanchuk playing the game in the Blitz World Championship in New York, as I guess, and how emotional is this guy. It's amazing how he started to cry after all. Yeah, it shows how deep passion the chess is for him. Perhaps one day he could be so devoted to checkers as well. I'll start the poll, so I'm really curious. In your opinion, who will win the match if Victoria Motrichko or Daria Tkachenko will be the champion? If they, who of them will be the champion? Because the momentum, that's the very interesting thing now to follow. You remember that yesterday, after the classical regular game, that was the game that for us was already having big chances to be decided on Daria's side. Daria did have a winning position. Hello Luca. I was watching chess until 1 AM yesterday and today checkers from early morning. Okay, so you're fully devoted to mind sports. Definitely you are. Start the poll. Who will be the women's world champion 2024? Victoria Motrichko or Daria Tkachenko? So yesterday it was like Daria has bigger chances, in your opinion. How it will be today? If the match will be started and played in the same opening they played previously, we'll see. So already something that we've seen, 30-30. This is the move with which Daria Tkachenko has started the match. And the answer was 20-25, as we remember in the first game between those two ladies. But now, after 1923, the game goes into different variants. So already at this moment, I don't like the way how black pieces want to develop the left long wing. And keep in mind that they are playing the rapid game, the rapid tempo, but they are having 20 minutes plus 10 seconds added, increased, incremented by every single move. So that way, it looks like both players try to develop the left wings, but are at some moment leaving it undeveloped. Now, after the line followed by Daria, perhaps it's okay on Victoria's left side. But to be honest, in this moment, perhaps I would try to be more waiting, perhaps more patient. Maybe I would try to go something like that. On the other hand, you have this option, maybe then the double exchange would be an idea. Okay, there's probably not a good way to stop those pieces from developing in a good way. So perhaps just Daria didn't take care about that and just kept playing on the left side. So this is the current position. So you know and you remember what was the plan of Daria Tkachenko in the classic regular games. She wanted to put her opponent under the pressure. Now, playing the rapid games, it seems like much more possible and easier thing to do for Daria Tkachenko to put Victoria under some time pressure. But how the game starts from Victoria's side, she is brilliantly fast, amazingly fast, and she's playing with even time advantage over 40 seconds over Daria Tkachenko. So conclusions have been made by Victoria Motrichko, and I think that the biggest pressure that she can feel right now is the time one. I think definitely it's going that way. Who you think will be the women's world champion? Okay, we are going nearly 50-50. So it's quite interesting. Is Ivanchuk a chess player from Ukraine? Yes, he is. How is he doing in New York? Crying because of some failure? He lost a game and he started to cry loudly. quite a strange thing, honestly, but a true thing on the other side, because that way you don't hide your emotions, you just don't want to hide behind some wall or something. I saw you in the PZ Szach Polish Chess Federation chat yesterday, Martina. I already followed some rapid games of Janek, and also I did see the donation from fan brata Kasi, so our viewer in Polish on Polish channel Warcaby. Okay, we are at this moment of the game. After 1923, that was the moment of choosing the plan for Daria Tkachenko. So at this moment, there is one more waiting move perhaps. You never, of course, want to make such moves, because that way you are just locking, and this wing is hanging. Really difficult to develop then. But on the other side, this move is usually quite okay, as this piece, after different exchanges, can also be developed further. But here, Daria chooses to play to 30. So now, optically, it looks like more developed position from the black side. Can we just check the exchanges that were made? So here, +4 for black, +2 for black, +4 for black. Let's go. +6 for black. Yeah, exactly. I was expecting it is more developed for black. So at this moment, black has more of 6 tempos, so that's a quite advantage. Now after this move there is an attack 20-25 from Victoria Motrichko, so she didn't want to play this move, perhaps because of 2 reasons. You must at first calculate such moves, because such moves, despite of being losing, it is still something that loses your time, yeah? Because you create the free tempo and you must check if everything works for black. Perhaps if she wants to save the time just before playing that, because otherwise you don't want this move to be played without this 14-19, for example, leaving it undeveloped. It can happen like that way. You play here and then you can't make this move, because there is this simple combination locking your wing from being developed. You must remember that. So perhaps that was the reason why Victoria played 20-25, but another reason for that could be that she doesn't want to have too many tempos of advantage, because if that way Daria brings the game to the closed classic position, it could be better for her. She decides to play that variation, and at this moment you have the 4 tempos in black's position in front of white. So the problem for white with having the closed classical position is controlling 28 and 27. Both points are quite risky for white at this moment. Of course, after 31, 27 can be, for example, attacked, and then white gets some tempos. Now Victoria can force white even to make this exchange, because if this exchange is not played and you go with something like that, I think this lock could be now working one. And you see, there could be an advantage, and you can lose the game really quickly playing not in a good way, like leaving this lock and not breaking it. It could be very, very problematic, but of course sometimes it comes with some combination possibilities. So locks are generating, okay, there is no combination possibility because you take that direction. I didn't see that, but locks normally generate very interesting positions. And ladies and gentlemen, we have this move from Daria Tkachenko, so it's like Daria invites Victoria to exchange forward and to lock her wing. That's quite a strange thing, in my opinion, because that lock looks like a good one. After that, I think we can accept either this exchange or just going here and trying to exchange here, but everywhere there is a slight advantage for black, and I think much more flexible position and easier one to play for Victoria Motrichko. Both need 2 wins to take a title. Diana, at this moment, the next victory finishes the match, because both players, as you can see on the standings down on the screen, both ladies has 1 victory, every one of them. So another one is finishing the match. That's the reason why they didn't play the tiebreaks yesterday. Hello, Piotr Hrapa. How old is he? I mean, Ivanchuk. He is like, I don't know, 67. I mean the year of birth. YouTube advertisers still love me. They bombard me with kids games. Perhaps Don't tell me what what kind of advertisements you have, because sometimes it's affected with the history of your browser. You know what there could be. Perhaps YouTube AI analyzed me and concludes I will do better in kid games than in drafts. It may be true. Actually, it can. So this game, actually, ladies and gentlemen, can be the first game of the tiebreak, but also can be the last game. It is the first game, but can be the last game of the tiebreak. So if one of those players wins that match, that game wins also the match. So it can be decided here in the rapid game, it can be decided in the second rapid game, it can be decided in one of the upcoming 4 blitz games, it also can be decided in the super tiebreak. So if all the games will be played, then we have up over 5 hours of this tiebreak. But if it is decided right now, then we finish the match and we know everything. I've played similar positions by playing with black. It is quite good, honestly, to go forward and go for such variants. So we have immediately exchange from Daria Tkachenko. It's not like, of course, this is better for one of the sides. To be honest, when Scan, which is the engine on LeadDraft's website, shows you the advantage of black side, you must also understand how engine works. So this engine, for example, and many other engines, prefers to be the locking side, because now it's Victoria who is locking, for example, those two pieces 26, 27, with addition of this 22 are locking this structure, and this move 37, 32 is never possible. And now very nice idea of Victoria Motrichko building this very powerful column with a possibility of exchanging forward, and I think that this is something that could bother Daria right now. If Daria plays something like 45, oh, there would be a combination, ladies and gentlemen, the majority capture rule. Yeah, that's right. Very nice and hidden combination, because this is strategically but also tactically very good move. Daria now can't play the most logical 45-40, because then this combination probably could be the one winning the game for Victoria, sacrificing for taking free. So that was the reason why at this moment probably it was necessary for Daria to play to 24 directly, or maybe with an exchange. She played with an exchange. If she played 35-30, this exchange would be powerful, and this lock becomes bigger and more meaningful in this game. That's the reason why Daria chooses to make this exchange. Okay, still it holds position with a slight advantage of black. It was better to go there directly, but of course it's not easy to find it. After that, as I told you, locks are generating a very interesting positions. For example, after this one, there is a beautiful combination of this kind with a majority, sometimes really hidden. One move combination, but very, very hidden one. You go to the king and you win the game. After this 18-23, after that, just waiting here could be okay, but it's really difficult to calculate if this is not the winning variant for black, because the only move probably is this one, and after you can't take this way because white takes free, you must take here, you take, your opponent takes, and you take. So you switch from one lock to perhaps another one on the other side of the board. Amazing, amazing story. Quite an interesting game it is already, ladies and gentlemen. Such games we want to follow, we want to analyze. Even though such games can end in a draw, this is very, very interesting from both points of view. 12-18, that's a decision by Victoria, and at this moment still ladies have a lot of time. Daria 19 minutes 10 seconds and Victoria 18 minutes 47 seconds, so it's basically equal. 12-18, 45-40. Again, it looks like this move 18-23 could be very, very solid one from Victoria's side, and probably something like that happen. And I'm about to judge that if players will have the winning line, for example, having so much time, that could make the possibility of realizing it. Okay, on the other hand, looking at the history of the yesterday's game, where Daria Tkachenko had a winning position, had a world title position, because that was the winning one, and 40 minutes on the clock, and she blundered, she made the drawish move, and there is nothing that is absolutely sure in those games, but yeah, maybe after learning from the history, from the past games, maybe there will be some conclusion also by Daria Tkachenko. What do you think? Who will be the winner? And of course, ladies and gentlemen, we are on the new stream, so it is necessary to buy your free ticket with leaving the thumb up under the video. So you prefer Daria Tkachenko at this moment, 53% of the votes, and Victoria 47. Quite interesting right now. Easy plan for black, that's right, Erix. Hey Piotr, nice to see you here. So you probably met yourself yesterday on the chats from the chess broadcast. I think 2-7 wasn't the best move for black. Simple development was better, I think. In my opinion, it was better. And blocking 10, you know, sometimes in the checkers and drafts games you don't have the option to realize all the goals. And you must judge which one is better for you, which tempo is better for you, and sometimes you leave some weaknesses in your position trying to get some attack, for example, or not to lose a tempo for realizing some goal. So that is very important to judge it, evaluate it well. That's the first moment in this game of longer thinking time, and it is on Daria Tkachenko's side, ladies and gentlemen. Unexpected scenario, but this position is just easier for Victoria. If Daria is not making any plan breaking this lock, breaking this position, there are huge chances of making the mistakes, the mistakes in such kind of positions. Previous games were played like it was Daria having more flexible positions and more options in creating the plans, choosing the moves, but here it is Victoria Motrichko who got into this game better. She is on the favorite position right now, she is standing on the high ground, and now Daria is being the defensive one. From this moment it looks like two results are possible, drawing or winning by black. You don't have to agree with me, of course, but that's my judgment and evaluation about this position. So now it looks we, of course, want to develop this weakness on the square number 10. To do it, we must go forward, attacking 14-19. And it could be very problematic to play 34-30, because then white play 10-14, and you create this powerful in this kind of structure, threatening to make 1 for 2, but you don't do it immediately, because if white, for example, play here, if you took it 1 for 2, then there is simple attack or just exchange 1 for 2, breaking also the lock, and that could be a draw. But if you wait, then your patience is paying off. You just wait, and there's no option for white now to wait. So always when you play drafts, checkers, look what is your opponent going to do on the next move, because many times that way you will win the game. Now after this there is 1 for 3, after this there is 1 for 3, after this you are losing this column, of course. So the only move probably is here to let your opponent to attack there or even to attack there. Both sides are winning. After this one you just wait again. That's a quite nice scenario of winning this game. And now after this move 48 you are just attacking once again. So you are winning a piece and also break into a king perhaps if you want. Not now. Oh, this is the best option actually. So this is how good and powerful waiting can be. This is the great example of this position. But of course there are other moves to make. If Victoria chooses to play 14-19, the best one, the only one actually, is 35-30, because if you tried to play 43-39, there will be just the same. Here, with this threat, it's unavoidable. After that, you wait once again, and you repeat the scenario. So if Victoria attacks, ladies and gentlemen, which is, in my opinion, possible, 14-19, the only move to play will be 35-30. (50-50), slight advantage of Daria. It's very, very interesting. And I wonder if after this game and how it will go, will something change with your attitude and with your voting on the poll? Good suggestions, waiting and looking for opponent's next move. It's absolutely crucial. And here we have this variant played. So Victoria goes 14-19 and Daria immediately locks it 35-30. Now the idea of this structure is of course to avoid threats after 10-14. After this move and this threat you have the option of double exchange back. That would open position a little, but also create the passive position for white. But also it's not the problem of white's position here, because to avoid this exchange, Victoria can simply go forward, move away. This piece 23, it creates very complex position, very complex one, because after such moves you have such a difficult variance to calculate, like this one and this one, and you must judge that this is the one winning for black, because you play there and those are the hanging pieces, yeah? But you must calculate it. But Victoria in that game finally has a time to find it. 14 more minutes. So if you work hard for 2-3 minutes, I think it is possible to calculate well and play this move, to create even more complex and more difficult situation. But even though Victoria is not finding this move and playing normally 10 to 14, it's very okay for her, because now very passive white position will be the big problem for Daria Tkachenko. Even if you try to play forward and force finally Victoria to exchange, you can see that right wing of white is almost not existing anymore. So that's a very easy direction of choosing an attack. So it's very logical that Victoria is taking her time right now. She's trying to find the best way, the best move to make the right decision, because this decision can decide who of those two ladies will be the world champion. Of course, Ukraine is absolutely set after yesterday, after losing the world title, and now everything stands in Victoria's hand. So after 23-28 there's a draw combination, Marta says, but pretty difficult, you say? So it could be like going there. No, that's the losing of the piece. This is not possible, because now you are becoming the victim of the majority. You must take 3 pieces that direction. So what could be the combi? Oh, this one maybe, you say. Yeah? No, because this is not working. Maybe this one. You must go there. You have this move with this majority, you have this move, and if your opponent takes here, you go here. Wow! There, and you take 3. This is that? Is it that, Marta? That combination? Okay, that would be something. Another one variant here would be here, here. And if your opponent is not going with the piece but with taking with the king, oh, it's even better. Here, you take. Here. Oh! And this king is locked, and if it tries to escape there, then, oh sorry, not this move. Here, there is a catching possibility. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, very nice variant, Marta. That's the combination, Nice one, okay. That could make it more difficult for Victoria to make the decision, but there are 2 questions. If Victoria is one finding this combination, and also if Daria is the one seeing that. I think that's why Vika is taking so much time. Yeah, absolutely true. Very nice. Did you find it by yourself, Marta? This idea is very nice, and honestly I haven't seen it in my life. Such a very difficult double capture possibility. Nope, scan. My scan didn't show it, actually. So we have a decision, classic one, from if Victoria saw this combination and plays the right move here, then it is something amazing, yeah? She plays 10-14, so if she saw the combination, it's not like, you know, playing being naive against your opponent. If you see the combination, you must think that your opponent sees it also. That's the World Championship game, and if your opponent sees it, then you play a draw. And if you are playing the normal 10-14 move, then it means that you are keeping the better position in this game and force your opponent to make this exchange, and I do prefer playing black pieces. And perhaps one of the options to create a possibility of breaking this lock formation will be just after this hypothetical 14-12 move to play something like that and to make this threat of exchange and forcing opponent to exchange. That's right, that happens, of course, not to 20 but to 19 Victoria Motrichko plays, and after this move that directs another one from the weaker right side to the left, there is this exchange, and I think that this attack of the right short wing of white is highly possible for Victoria Motrichko. Definitely this is the game for only 2 results, and she is bringing some strength forward. Of course it is not possible to direct all the pieces for white to the right side, so I do favor here black pieces, of course. So Victoria is the one who can win it or play a draw in the worst scenario for her. That is a very good job, thank you. This should be a draw. Between should be and will be, you know, there is still a long way to go. Everything can happen. There are still and will be till the last move chances that that will be the last game of the championship. By the way, 2 weeks, nearly 2 weeks of play. Yeah, everything started with a press conference on December 18, and we are here on the last day of the year, 31st December, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you who have been with me during most of the rounds, thank you very much for spending this time. And that was really nice experience, and I wish we could have more and more drafts events to comment and to live together. That would be nice. I hope it will be pointing into that direction. Okay, 42-38, then 14-20 and 47-42. This is the position appearing after 40 moves of the game. We are just waiting for the 40th move for black. And 0.4 advantage is indicated by scan. If Daria finds a safe way to take field 29, then she will be okay. But it's not quite easy. Her wing is very, very weak, and now Victoria plays it very, very smart. She plays 6-11 just to wait, because at this moment position of white looks perfectly. You have this column, you have this column, you have control over 27 and you have control over 34. But if you want to play something, you must break those formations. This is another reason why it's worth to follow your opponent's possibilities. Check what your opponent will play on the next move always, because there could be a situation like this one where no matter which move white decides to play, it will break this beautiful formation somehow. So patience pays off. Let me know in the poll what is your prediction about who will be the Women's World Champion, and also don't forget to leave the thumb up, only 17 of them. We must have at least 50 in a short period of time. Yesterday we collected over 130, I guess. I'm counting with you. Please be supportive. Click this free ticket, buy the thumb up under the video. And one of the last appeals of this tournament, remember to keep drafts promoted. We must use the resources, the easiest resources we can get, which is of course the internet. And to be more visible on the internet, we need you, the drafts community. So it is very important to click the like buttons here on YouTube and on Facebook, to share the videos, to share the broadcasts, to write the comments on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram, everywhere. If you like, then with our common work it can become real. And ladies and gentlemen, this is actually probably the best move in the position, 33-29, because it prevents black from making a quick attack on the wing. So Daria plays something that is related to Eric's comments, which is actually a very good move. You mean after 33, oh come on, after 33-28, a triple exchange? You mean this and this? Yeah, that would be avoided by this move, simply. Of course, if something like that would be played, then this triple exchange is of course great. Not like in Yuri's game against Jan Groenendijk, but here it would just save the position. But after 33-29, we have this attack, so it was not suggested by Scan, but after it, the evaluation slowly increases by 0.1. I don't know if I feel this move. But now probably there is not a good tempo of waiting. That's right, because this move maybe is not possible because of this. Okay, it's leading for a draw because after that you must make this combination that you don't want to make, probably in that position, to play a draw in this game. Otherwise, what to do? Only move to do without it is this one, locking this attack. And this is what happens in the game. 38-33. So now Daria must face the possibility of making this lock formation. How it is called in English, by the way? I know it's Polish name, but I've asked recently Natalia, and Natalia probably didn't say, or no, Marta. I asked Marta. Piotr K, yo. What is the name of this formation? Like the clips, or how it is called, from the cancer, from the crab. But there is a different move played by Victoria, 3-9. Okay, so perhaps she wants to still play against this 27. On the other hand, she knows that it's not possible for Daria to avoid this possible lock, and maybe she just wants to bring strengths forward, and she just wants this one, 9, to be the locking one, then making the exchange and saving this formation after this exchange. So it looks like a 0.2 position, quite equal one. But believe me, this is very problematic. This could be very problematic for white. And Daria takes an exchange, and that could be a small inaccuracy. Still, the wing of Victoria is much better to defend with those pieces, 11-12. Meanwhile, those pieces are gone. At this moment, Daria Tkachenko, 15 minutes, 50 seconds on the clock, and Victoria 8 minutes on the clock. So this scenario of putting time pressure on her opponent will still be used by Daria. Let's just call it tick formation. But, okay, tick is the small worm, you mean, yeah? Drinking blood. But I don't know if it comes from this worm in Poland. This insect, actually, not worm. It's more like, you know, the thing that crab grabs with. I don't know the word for that. Tick as an insect, yep. This is a fair draw. Federation Dame Corso. Best move for black now is to bring 6 into the game. Okay, Federation Dame Corso, just probably refresh the stream, because this is the moment when I see your comments appearing on the chat. All you ladies and gentlemen, from time to time it is recommended to refresh the stream, because somehow delays can be made, for example after you watch some advertisements, of course, showed by YouTube, not by me. Yeah, probably not, but I like it. Okay, so let's call it otherwise claw. Claw as well? Okay, because there's a pawn of animal and there are the claws on the end of the pawn, right? So the claw would be like pazur, you mean, and kleszcze? I translated to Polish. Okay, but let's focus on the game. 12-17 from Victoria Motrichko. 0.5 piece advantage, but there is a huge compensation on the clock. Twice the time that Victoria has right now is on Daria's side. And Daria plays 38-30, 33-38, very logical move, of course. You don't want to play moves like that, because you bring another piece into the lock, and you want to keep your pieces alive. So that way you play the line that those pieces can follow and play into more active places. 13-19 is something possible, probably. This move could be the losing one after this lock. Or maybe a tough draw. It looks like this move, creating this threat, would be the necessary one to play, and after 11-16, your plan is just to bring this piece here probably, to keep the draw in this position. Perhaps it looks like that. You know, this move 13-19 with this plan of maybe not even locking, but having the possibility, keeping the possibility of locking it, is something that, you know, looks like you want to play. There is 11-16, and Victoria is down to 6 minutes 48 seconds. Daria Tkachenko, 15 minutes. How do you think? Okay, maybe I'll change the poll also. So it's quite equal between two of you, between two of players, Victoria Motrichko and Daria Tkachenko. Now Victoria Motrichko slight advantage, 52% and 48% for Daria. So I'll finish that poll and I'll ask another one. When the match will be decided? In Rapid, in Blitz, in Super Blitz. That is something really interesting. What is your opinion on that? How the match will be decided? So we have 2 Rapid games. We have up to 4 Blitz games in this tiebreak, and then we'll have Super Blitz games. Do you think it is possible for women to get to the Super tiebreak moment? After 38-32, Victoria exchanges forward. Immediately we see this move, 30-28. Now there is a threat of this exchange. After this attack, 17-21, there is a beautiful majority by white, and that's the small trap that Daria has set here, which is this one. This is not so obvious, not so easily findable move. After that, you take 2. So the right move to make after this one, it can be even with a small advantage on white side, better development, but probably a draw. So perhaps at this moment, to avoid this exchange, the only possibility for Victoria is to make this exchange, but it will be faced with another. This exchange, now you can make this attack, not losing one, play to a draw, here, maybe here. Everything here should lead for a draw. After this one, you go forward. You go here, exchange. That could be a draw. So it looks like there will be a draw, but of course at this moment even, Victoria Motrichko can make a losing mistake. I don't expect to see such a mistake, and still Victoria has 5 minutes to figure out something. But who knows? It's the sport, and every sport comes with mistakes of people playing that sport. Let me know in the poll on the chat what is your expectation about the way of deciding this match. So will that be decided in Rapid games, Blitz games or Super tiebreak? At this moment, most of you, over half of you, votes for the Blitz games. So you think that upcoming 2 Rapid games will not be decided by any of players. Daria will make a conclusion, risk less in the next games. If she pulled out of this position, then she is a very good. That's a good point of view. I think it is possible to interpret things like that. Yeah. We already know that Jan Groenendijk from Netherlands is the world champion 2024. You can see it also on the table. I added the crown next to him, this logo of my English language broadcast. I hope you like it, by the way. I hope you liked the interface, the overlay, the graphics, how it looks like. Let's just try to make those drafts streams looking better and better. I know that probably as the drafts players you don't pay too much attention to the way how it looks, but you know, to what the content is. Daria chilling with 14 minutes on the clock, yeah. So I think that if we come to Super Blitz, then perhaps Daria uses 1 minute per game and will have a situation like, you know, having 8 minutes against the last seconds on Victoria's side. How you can play a rapid game in the World Championship match with the possibility of having deciding game, yeah, using only 6 out of 20 minutes. On one hand, it is okay, building the time pressure on the opponent, but on the other hand, it's like, you know, not managing well with the resources you have. Okay, and after quite time of thinking, Victoria goes for this move 24-30 and Daria goes 27-22. So at this moment, there is a slight advantage for Daria. Looks like a draw, of course, but perhaps there are some lines that could lead Victoria to make some mistakes. As mentioned before, Daria has the best practice possibly in NL, but I believe from time to time Victoria also plays. And also, we must admit that Victoria participated this year in very important tournaments and did have the possibility of following and practicing against the best players in the world. According to the fact that she beat some of them, for example, winning the US Open against, for example, grandmasters like Ivan Trofimov. That was the moment when I made a video analysis from that tournament you can watch on checkersTV channel, and I thought that she's absolutely in a great shape and she's confidently going for the World Championship title. But apparently things change, and sometimes the people that we would describe as the failing, losing one are the ones surprising us and showing such a good attitude. So here immediately after 13-18, Daria plays 31-27, having a simple plan to make a breakthrough. This is something that, you know, white pieces don't have to calculate. It is a draw, playing well, but still it is Victoria who must calculate this line. You simply go forward, 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 make a breakthrough, and perhaps there will be something, because look how far black pieces have to the king. At this moment, okay, there could be 7-11 or 7-12 move on one hand, but after just 2 moves, this and this, you must ruin it. And probably that's the way only how black can save this position, yeah? Because otherwise, after this move, if you play something like that, yeah, probably it is very, very difficult for white to play a draw. As you can see, there is 0.3, but to make it, perhaps you make this majority holding, like this one. And you give here, here, and take the majority there to play a draw. Perhaps. So now it stops Daria from playing here immediately. And this move, of course, comes with some responsibilities. Yeah, but anyway, Daria plays there, 7-11. Maybe 7-12 was even more accurate here. Because after going here, you go there, and there is also a threat of taking a piece and a single attack. And if you went to 12, then you make a double attack, and maybe that could be possible to use the majority for Victoria. Okay, and now she must break this formation. This is the only logical move, because after that there is a sacrifice needed to break through. And if you play there is this, with a threat of taking this piece, so you must attack it. By the way, some here, 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 okay. Okay, it's not even working, I just thought the sticky move will work, but it's not. I'm not awakened yet. That's the position, 0.1, looking like a draw, but it's, of course, much more comfortable for Daria Tkachenko. I think we have this move 11-16, then going to 17 is like obvious thing to happen, probably. Looks like a draw, Federation then Corso. To put pressure, Black needs to support with 3-9. Yeah, once again, I advise you to refresh the stream, because that's the position that we've had some time ago. And Victoria sacrifices a piece, goes to the king. Of course, if you are first one on the king and can attack from behind the opponent's pieces, there's no chance of losing. So it's only Victoria who can make some mistake, if there is a possibility of some mistake, yeah? To keep it calm, you can just play for a variant without calculating it till the end, and, you know, perhaps your opponent somehow will make a mistake, like, you know, going here, cutting the piece on the main diagonal, who knows. Victoria goes here, attacking two pieces. So now Daria went to 2, and Victoria, this is losing, for example? No, it is not. But after playing something like that, sacrificing those two pieces, you go forward for a king and play a draw. This move probably will happen, 13-19. That's right, Daria will take here or here. And women agree for a draw. So it's still not decided, ladies and gentlemen. The first rapid game of the tiebreaks is not deciding who is the next women's world champion. Still, Daria Tkachenko and Victoria Motrichko have equal chances for becoming the world champion. Let me remind you, Victoria Motrichko is the current world champion, and Daria Tkachenko is the woman who has not lost a match. The last one she played in 2011, according to Marta's research previously, and here we have nice fights. We love it. We love to see more fights, not flights. And the next game, ladies and gentlemen, will be played after the short break. So now another rapid game will start at 11:10. So I just invite you for a short break between the rounds, and we'll be back at, let's say, 11:08, 2 minutes before round starts. I can display that 21 minutes from now, so have a cup of coffee, as I will, and see you soon. waiting until the counter is down to 0, and here we are. The coffee break is done. Players are ready. At least Victoria is sitting down, concentrating before the second round of the rapid games, and perhaps before the last round, last game of this World Championship match. So far they played 13 games. This is the game number 14. Gentlemen, to decide who will be the world champion, needed in the end 17 games. It is possible that women will need more of them, but it is also possible that we will have a decision, we will have an information, a result. Who will be the next new world champion right now in this game? And honestly, you know what I feel? I feel this could be it. I feel that this will be the final game of the World Women's Championship Drafts match. That's my feeling. How do you feel? Let me know on the chat. Federation Dam Corso says that Daria plays fast, so she feel more comfortable in the Blitz and Super Blitz. Probably, if the tempo decreases, it will be more comfortable for Daria Tkachenko to put some time pressure on Victoria. So perhaps Victoria, being aware of that, thinks right now that it's the high time to win the game and win the match. Perhaps Victoria Motrichko knows that she doesn't want the tempo of the game to be decreased. She doesn't want, perhaps, the faster games. So that could come to the conclusion that she must win right now if she wants to hold the world champion title. That's quite interesting, but I think very accurate opinion, and I think that emotions are guaranteed on this game. When I asked you how and when the match will be decided on the poll on the chat, feel free to answer to these questions. So 52% of you answered that in Blitz games, and similar number of you in Rapid and Super Blitz games. Okay, so 1 out of 4 persons votes that in Rapid games the result will be decided, which is this one. Here again we have an Amsterdam game after this exchange 32-28, 19-23. Basically, I think around 80 to 90 even percent of the match games were played like 30-28, but there is actually something that we could not see so often. After this exchange 39-30, most of the times this move 14-19 is played, but now Daria changes. Daria changes by playing this exchange. This is something that we can't see very often in the games, but of course it's a normal move that leads, for example, to that leads for development of this wing into the direction of this 24 piece, and of course after that 10 and 14 can also be developed quite easily. So I do expect something like this exchange in the future, because it will be easier. Okay, or direct move 17-21, because somehow the checkers, the drafts pieces from this side must get into the game. It looks like easier one to play for Victoria on the left side of things, and we can already see something that Ukraine is playing like to the 28, like Yuri has played against Jan. Meanwhile, the Dutch side tries to surround this lonely central spot. Of course, this is a very opening of the game. There are not such things as a lonely things, and lonely pieces in the central part. But from this moment, of course, already if you plan to play some surrounding of the center in your game, it is possible to follow mentioning things I told you about. Hello Kuba Gazdo, welcome everyone on the chat. Don't forget to click the thumbs up. We are going for 50 thumbs and we have only 26 right now. Thumbs up if you want to see more tournaments, more drafts, events covered on the checkersTV YouTube channel, ladies and gentlemen. What is going to happen in this game? So, okay, we have once again tempo advantage on Victoria Motrichko's side. So, calculating the tempos from the very beginning of the game. So here black is +2, here it is equal, Here black is +2, and then after this opening, this is +4 for white, so it means that white is +2. 2 more tempos on white's side, so yeah, still quite early phase of the game, so it's difficult to judge for who it could be better. But again, this opening is played faster by Victoria Motrichko. Probably again we'll see such situation in this game that Victoria will be down on the clock, but at this moment she is nearly 2 minutes in front of Daria Tkachenko. She knows that she spends more time on choosing the plan, the right moves, on the next moves of the game, so she wants to play it fast in the opening. She has still some quick and easy decisions to make, like this 47-42. Perhaps something like 45 can be played, maybe 49-44 without losing this tempo 50 to 45, something like that I would expect. Okay, Victoria plays 50. Grandmasters used to play deadline without moving this 50 too early, but of course it's nothing bad. It's nothing bad to play that way. I feel like this will be the decisive game on the world title matter. I think this could be the last game of the match. Somehow, I have feelings like that. Do you share my feelings? Looking at the poll, you don't. Only 1 out of 4 persons votes like I did. So finally, after previously playing 17-21, now Daria decides to make an exchange. So now the number of team tempo is equal for both sides, 33-28, quite a calm position at this moment, but this is already the move number 18. We are slowly getting into more interesting and tough moments. Oh, there's an alarm at 11:30. Oh, because of the previous broadcast when I started with the commentary at 12 Central European time, 12 p.m. That was the time when I just wanted to sleep a bit, because yeah, that was exhausting. It is after all. After all, this is 2 weeks of broadcasting and commenting for you those events. Okay. So Daria chooses to go to 26. Perhaps, sometimes you must be aware also of this attack after this move 33-28, because if such move is made, I think this attack is not a good thing, because this comes with this, and also always you have the majority. So in that position you capture with 38, you must capture because you must take most the pieces. So I would not be afraid of this attack. So perhaps I would not also play 21-26 immediately, as we repeated it. I do prefer to have this piece here. What's the reason of playing 21-26? For example, if you want to exchange 18-22, for example, to try to look for some activity here. But it's not reasonable, of course, because you have this 24. There could be this cooperation of the pieces that you don't like in your position. So this is the move I don't understand from Daria's side, to be honest. After that, if the white plays here, have this 27 under the control, this is much better piece. 27 after this 21 is gone to 26. Why? Because, for example, you can't play to 17 because of some combination threats. Also 11-17 can meet with that. So I didn't understand this move from Daria Tkachenko, but after that 39-33 was played, so without immediately going to 27, that could be the time to develop slightly this wing, and Daria, despite of that, plays 14-19. So for me it's like, for just playing random move on different wings. Usually it is said that it's better to develop one wing till the end and then starting to developing another one. Here it looks like Daria just playing the random moves without creating a more important plan. At least this is my feeling of the position. Here after the 44-39, 7-12 was played, and finally 31-27. At this moment, also I don't like the lack of 7, and I prefer slightly wide pieces to play with. Probably after this 10-14, I would like to have this for here. I think that bigger strengths are involved on this side of the board, and here more can happen. But yeah, it depends, because it can change with some simple plan of any of the players. Let me know on the chat, where are you watching from? Who you think will be the winner? Who you cheer for? Who you are the fans of? You wish the best to Victoria, to Daria. What are your thoughts about that? Also, do you think that such a player that wins this match can hold the World Championship next year during the Women's World Championship, because this tournament will be played? What do you think about organizing World Championships in Africa, because probably the men's one will be organized there in Cameroon? Do you feel okay with that? Do you think the coverage, the broadcasts from that place will be organized, because you know how we need it to promote drafts all over the world? I want your opinions on the chat. Please be kind and share something with me. I think it won't be a big deal, but I can already announce you that on this channel there will be an interview with the Vice World Champion. Actually, maybe we can't call him that way, but the former World Champion. So I talked to Yuri Anikeyev in early morning, and will be recording, ladies and gentlemen, an interview after those matches. Maybe there are some questions you would like to ask to Yuri Anikeyev. Let me know on the chat if you have some such questions. I could ask him and release it after we record this interview in few days. Damian, I don't agree on developing one flank in full as you may. One, need to attend more flank as a priority. Two, keep one reserve move, if you know what I mean. It all depends on situation, of course, Eriks, but you know, I mean the basics. I mean the basics, of course. In that particular position, when I was mentioning that, I thought that reasonable it would be to finish developing one wing and then starting with other flank. Here we have next moves made. 49-40, 14-20. This is very common move. If you have still this 4 to develop, to create a place for this piece and then move forward with it. Yeah, but still in such positions you must be very careful with going to the close classic position, because it can be problematic after you don't have this 7-1. Okay. Interesting thing that Victoria goes forward 34-29, and it is immediately exchanged by exchange forward. Of course, this is logical, because if you try to play 9-14, it gives the possibility for white, because you don't have this mentioned piece on 7, you don't have this formation, this column, you can't exchange anyhow. Even if you had, then also you would be forced to capture that way. And after this move and this 45 is possible, you play something like that, then you have already lost position. This is losing. Once you are forced to play something like that, simply attack, because you have no other pieces saving this wing. And after this, of course, there is this possibility, this, and you are out of moves soon. After this one, it's over already after that. Yeah, such moves are followed with this one, this attack. Zugzwang, you have nothing to play, you lose the game. Maybe in that position of 34-29, maybe it was possible to wait one more move with it. Okay, now Daria would play this move and force Victoria to destroy the Olympic formation. Yeah, so this move 34-29, and to have this exchange right now was yeah, okay. So now it looks like this plan and this are possible to happen. This. You remember from the Yuri's game against Jan Groenendijk This kind of exchange is very passive for black, and it creates much more active and aggressive position on white side. So after that happens, that is really likely, and this move will be played without this exchange. And now probably Victoria could play something like that, and it would be a nice maneuvering game. Maybe even forcing at some point black to make this exchange. Who knows? You are just not wanting to answering my questions on the chat. Then I don't ask them anymore. You don't want to ask Yuri about anything about this match? $32 thumbs up only? Come on, over 75 people watching. This is required, because otherwise the broadcast will be shut down if you don't buy your free tickets by clicking the thumb up. This is the ticket you must get to watch it and fully enjoy it. So log in on YouTube, become the subscriber. If you want to support us more, you can even send a donation. You can become the supporter by clicking the button behind the transmission. This all will be absolutely supportive. And thank you very much to all the people paying some donations. Fan Brata Kasi and Franz de Jong, who already donated us many times. Thanks to that, this bar is almost fully filled with the green color. Yeah, we're playing the line, and I do expect this exchange from Victoria at this moment. Before that, now we are getting to what we used to see. Victoria is 2 minutes down to Daria Tkachenko on the clock. That was like expected thing to happen. But still, I think this will be the last game. Okay, Victoria follows this line, also of course possible. After this move, breaking this thread 34-30, it is possible to make such moves like 9-14. But Daria plays 18-23. So now this exchange is something expected and necessary to do. But also bringing 43 to the right flank gives you also the possibility of moving 48-43. It is very important to make the plan like that. So at first you go here, like 43-49, and now the most important order. You cannot play here and then exchange, because you are missing the 48 piece. So at first you exchange 37, and then this piece gets another roll, because now it was used in the column. Now it goes here to create another column. Yeah, very common and a good plan. How Daria will answer to that? This is the position after 18-23, this exchange. And now we are waiting. Daria Tkachenko on the move, not spending much time on choosing other moves, on thinking what will be the best plan to play. Perhaps she trusts her intuition. And Franz de Jong, just after I told him that thanks to him we have almost fully, we have already filled it with a green color. Thank you very much, Franz. Big hearts for you for supporting our stream. Thank you very much. What will be the choice of Daria Tkachenko? This position looks calm, but I don't think it is. Of course, if black tried to play and control another corner here, 26, it might be better, but it's really hard to realize that plan, because after this move 48-43, there are different possibilities of exchanging combinations coming to the game. So after something like that, probably it will be necessary to exchange that. And without pieces here, it looks weak for white, but actually there's nothing much you can do. You can, for example, choose to sacrifice a piece temporarily, because you go here and then you make this thread also supported with this one as a winning one. Seeing in that game such an offer by Daria Tkachenko, that would be something, ladies and gentlemen. After that, you simply exchange forward, you go here and then take this piece, and honestly it turns into surrounding center position like this one, here, here, and I prefer black, to be honest. Here, here, and this is very, very easy to lose it, because of course now white must force black to make this exchange, catch this piece and save a draw that way. Otherwise, in such positions, if you are going the back directions, of course you're losing the game, because this piece 28 is just surrounded here, here, and many threats like this can be played. So if we had this line of changing the position with an offer, that would be something. Of course, if you don't want to calculate this position, there's always chances for exchanging it back, for example, that way, yeah? Keeping it calm. Still, white probably would be forced to exchange it, and maybe still I would prefer to play white, but to play black position, but there is this move working, because you go with something like even now it would be possible to play, and then you have this exchange, and that way you transport this piece. You must be careful about this and this, and those two different possibilities of attacking it. So in some variants it could be difficult, but even this move maybe is possible here. I think it is. It looks like it will be easier to play for Daria anyway. My intuition says it will be easier to play for Daria. Okay, Daria reaches for the piece number 8 and it's played already, and if Victoria exchanges like here, you can see that slowly it becomes a really tough position for white. So it is like necessary for white to exchange this 27-22. At this moment you make this threat, and we are getting to the position we expected to see, yeah? Of course there is a threat of sacrificing one piece and taking 3. And after this piece, this move, white goes forward, and it's even better for white because this piece is a very inconvenient one for black. So we had two options of this sacrifice, which in my opinion was the best one, because that was the first line. Here, here, after such moves, there is a coup Philippe, and you always can't play here 11-17, you play here to remove this 22. That way you win the game and not play a draw. That would be winning for black. To avoid that, only possibility, this move, and then the variant we followed. There is a possibility of this sacrifice and going here, but then you push back black, and black has more tempos in this coming to the classic position. So I would prefer black in that line. But of course it's quite tough to follow all the lines. That's the reason probably why Daria decided to exchange back. This is just keeping it calm, and of course still more flexibility is visible on dark side. And I think that this position, despite of being equal by computer, generates the possibilities of deciding the game. I told you before the round, I do expect it will be the final round, it will be the final game of the match. It still can be that way. Okay, some more people decided on the poll to vote for the decision in rapid games, but still first place blitz games. So you expect, most of you expect that not this one, but one of the upcoming 4 blitz games will decide who will be the next women's world champion. Daria Tkachenko, representing Netherlands, visible to the right on the camera, or Victoria Motrichko, currently holding the title, trying to defend it. We have an exchange and we have capture to 18, as expected. So the question is, if this variant with this move will be followed by Victoria, yeah, just as expected. So another thing, if after 9-13 she will decide to play this easier move, I mean better probably, but this one can come with some difficulties for white. But this is exactly the variant that we were analyzing before. Still, it's quite easy to play for Daria, I think. Quite strange that after this move 33-28, the engine indicates 0.1 advantage for white. Daria goes for this move. Okay, and this creates a very interesting moment, to be honest. Very interesting moment. If Victoria chooses to play here or 33-28. It looks like 33-28 is a better move, but when you look at the position, it just doesn't look right. It doesn't look right, because then your opponent can play to 20, you can't go there. Maybe you have some problems with going here and taking the corner under the control. If you want to build the this column, for example, not to allow your opponent to play here because of exchanges, then you never can go to 34. I just would not like it. That makes this decision at this moment such difficult. Which one of those will be played? I think we can wait a bit longer for the decision from Victoria Motrichko, because that's a time to make a very important decision and to be aware of the consequences after each one. You must spend some time on it. Jan kept pushing Yuri and he broke. Daria keeps pushing Victoria and same thing can happen, hypothetically. I think that you really support Daria, Erix. I can feel it from your comments. I don't feel like Daria is pushing Victoria all the time, even in this game, but has just more flexible position, and of course probably will have more flexible position on the clock, because it looks like Victoria Motrichko again is going down with the time. Now she is on 13 minutes. Of course, after playing 36 minutes, it's not a big deal, it's not a big problem, and once again Victoria finds well the moment where she must think for some longer period of time. It's very important to have, you know, one moves to be made quickly, without thinking, without choosing plan, also using your opponent's time on choosing the right plan. But when it is time to think, you must choose the right moment and you must make the right decision. So I expected to have some longer time of thinking right now, and it is going on. One of those two moves will be played. The question which one? Is 37-22 to consider after that? Probably not. Yeah, it is working. It is like the double forcing, ladies and gentlemen. You play once, attacking your opponent's pieces. You play twice, you go, and then you build the column and you make this simple combination to the king. So it is the forcing on two moves. So only two moves possible. Or maybe she wants to play there, but it's not logical after that and those threats, absolutely. I don't think we're going to see that. Victor just subscribed. I missed it somehow. Thank you very much, Victor, for subscribing the channel. By position it is one thing, by psychology it may be different. It might be, but many times it will be very similar. What is going on the position and what is going on in the heads, because that's what is happening in your mind, your attitude, your psychological part can have a reflection on the board. If you are confident, then you play aggressively. If you are frightened, you play more passive. Which one of those two? So at this moment, Victoria is spending already 4 minutes on thinking. And she's going for 33. Yeah, she reached 33 on the camera and played this move. The move that is better for her than this exchange 32. And I think that's the right decision to make. If she made it, it means that she spent some time and came to the good conclusion in this position to play the right move to play. Now also it is position that requires from Daria choosing a good plan, which comes of course with calculating, judging the position, weighting your chances for a good moves, for a bad chances. So it's not easy for her as well to make a decision because every move has its weight. Like this one comes with the possibilities of building this column and exchanges, for example. Like this one is always missing this column anymore. This one involves too many pieces on this side. This one, and what after? You can't play that if your opponent brings that column. So every move can come with some consequences. After this one, for example, you can't anymore build the column and go to 29. Daria has played something, but I don't know what. Okay, 7-12. 7-12 it is. So she is not afraid of building this column, probably, as she wants to make this exchange. To lock her opponent's wing. Yeah, there is one piece too less. If Victoria had one more piece here on that side, then she could go for 27 and 26, creating the chances of attacking. Meanwhile, in this position, she can only go forward to 27. And for example, in such position, this is quite important because after this attack, your opponent goes and you can't even make this exchange, as after this, you can't make it forward. If you do it backwards, you have the double attack in two directions and black pieces win the game. That's quite a good decision from Daria. Quite a good decision because still it makes Daria feeling comfortable with this position, yeah, after this exchange. And there is nothing you can do with avoiding that. So for us, as we see the computer evaluation, it means, okay, it's quite calm, nothing happens. But if you were on Victoria's side, you would not feel comfortable in this position with this plan. That's a very good plan of Daria. I haven't thought about this, yeah. But exchanging here 12-17 is a great thing to do. So Victoria was missing like one tempo to have this exchange and freeing the position. So previously on the first tiebreak game, it was Daria Tkachenko who was under the pressure and who was locked. But in this case, while Victoria is missing, for example, this spot 37 or this one 42, because this 42 would be nice. You go somewhere here and you have some threats of the combinations, or immediately you could give even sometimes 3, one more. But when you don't have this additional piece on that side, it could be very problematic. I think Victoria will play this 36-31, because what else to play? And it will come with this exchange 12-17. And again, for Daria, it is a position that you can just play, not calculate, and for Victoria, it is the one to calculate to be sure if the line is not losing. She must try to evaluate that well. I don't, and I would not feel comfortable on the whites, on the white spot to play this position. I see on the camera that Victoria's hand is going to the left side, probably reaching for this 36. Yeah, probably. And I think the time trouble can start to happen from this moment. After that, I do expect Daria goes for this exchange quite quickly. Daria is on time, but Daria has plenty of time. She is now 6 minutes ahead of Victoria. We've seen many times how difficult it was for Victoria to defend while having the time troubles, but on the other hand, she defended most of the times. Only one time in the match, during the round number 5, she did not manage to do it and she lost the game. But she hasn't lost the match yet, now it's equal, but another victory, another decisive game of this match decides also the match. Quite a long time of thinking for Daria Tkachenko. She used us not to think too much. Yeah, to be honest, at this moment still 5-minute advantage on Daria Tkachenko's clock. I still expect this 12-17 exchange, and I still think this position can be won by Daria. How do we get those green arrows? Is that on lead drafts or king's row? This is on lead drafts. When you click on the square with right button on your mouse and hold it, then you draw arrows or mark the squares. And if you lose control, then you have the red one. Shift, it is still with red one. Alt is with blue one. And Alt plus Shift is, for example, for the yellow one. You're welcome. Can Daria look for some chances in any other variant? For example, 12-18 is not logical, because it gives even better position for white, as those 3 pieces get and try to make a breakthrough to a king. This is not something you like, of course. Another option could be only 6-11, to try to lock it maybe? Could it be the idea? But it never works probably. After that you play something like that, and after the locking you have this combination. You sacrifice 2, third one, because you are too weak on the wing, and white get to the king. That's a very common combination in classical or close to classical positions. So I think it's the only way, because you don't have even the waiting moves. Okay, maybe this one. But yet, finally you must play that. This move would be a risky one. Yeah, after this and exchange, you go for it, and you can see by the evaluation it is better for white at this moment. So only option could be here or here maybe, but yeah, finally 12-17. Daria thinking 3 minutes in the rapid games. Thanks a lot, you're welcome. Oh, she plays 3-8. Okay. So what is the difference now? After this exchange, it is possible to attack it, and it is possible to exchange. And that was not possible in the line we analyzed before. So this variant gives Victoria a forced way of playing to a draw. This will be a draw. I would like to play that with white, because, you know, on the other hand, you have still some catching possibilities for the black's king. And here, after going there, this piece is very powerful. You must exchange it, yeah? And you give your opponent the time to develop the piece number 45, for example. Everything looks like a draw. So I don't understand it, to be honest. Vika plays 31-27, and now she threats also with exchanging that way, with going 27-21. So now it is like forced move to play. I don't think that Daria Tkachenko is a very good player calculating variants. Already she missed a victory in the last round of the regular play. She missed the victory because game could have been already decided. But Daria Tkachenko missed her chance, and now she's choosing like not the best line, I think, giving her opponent quite a calm continuation to draw the game. Even if you follow your intuition, most of the times it would be exchanged before, without displaying 3 to 8. What's the situation, the clock? So Victoria has 6 minutes 40 seconds and Daria is down to 8 minutes 40 seconds. There is 2-minute advantage, of course, and we have this exchange like expected. Yeah, but now there is this variant for Victoria that I think she will play for a draw to keep it calm in that game. Victoria can think even 3 minutes about this line and check everything. But if she plays it, that will be a wise decision, I think, in such position. Because otherwise, yeah, it's not a comfortable position when your left wing cannot move at all. And all you can do is on your right wing. You prefer to have both wings working. If this game will be played in a draw, it means that we turn faster into blitz games. Blitz in that case means 10 minutes plus 2 seconds per player. Victoria is not going for that line. She plays 45-40, and that gives immediately some advantage to Daria. Quite a good move. 14-20. Is now this exchange possible? Now it's much worse, ladies and gentlemen. Now it's much worse, because it turns out that probably in this variant, without this piece 45, this black king will be much better than the white one. You have this option, you must go away, and you attack here, and this is very not comfortable, uncomfortable for white. Playing without a piece when black is controlling this line, and try to push those pieces forward. It looks like Victoria missed her moment to force a draw line, and now it can become complicated for her. This 14-20 is okay. And if Victoria plays on this side, there is a possibility of this small combination prepared by Daria, where she gives 4 pieces to take 2 and, you know, to create an endgame that you don't like to play in blitz games. Because, okay, it looks like a draw, but there is an attack and attack from behind, and you win the game. Attacking 2 pieces at once. So in that position, you must play here, this move, you go forward, and king cuts the way of all the pieces. This is very problematic. This can be a really problematic endgame, especially if you are short on time. I mean Victoria. So this is the position for 2 results. Draw or victory of Daria. How do you feel it? How do you feel that position? Do you think that Victoria will play here and will let Daria to make this combination? Or will attack, but after the attack you must play here. This is the only way maybe. Going here, here. It can be with an exchange, maybe better for white. But still, this looks like better endgame for black. It's not easy to get to the king because of those catching possibilities. Sebastian, hello. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a very problematic moment for Victoria Motrichko, and I think that she is aware of that after seeing this move and all the threats with 17-22. That was a very good move from Daria. Of course, after that, that would never work, and that would be a better position for white, even after going to the corner. But here, Daria found a very, very nice and interesting combination, limiting her opponent. So the pressure is on Victoria, definitely. Not only on the board, but also on the clock. At this moment, Victoria Motrichko is down to 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Daria Tkachenko, still 9 minutes on her clock. Greetings from Bielava, and great greetings to Bielava, of course. The city of many great drafts players. That's the moment of the match, ladies and gentlemen. That could be the moment of the match. If Daria goes for this attack, or she lets to make this combination. She chooses even differently here. 39-33. Evaluation grows for black right now to 0.7. So now this can face with this, and this combination. Once again, Daria can force this combination and this position. I don't know if it is safe for Victoria to play that. Because if after this move 39-33 you don't go for this 27-22, but you play this move, then you are losing the game after 13-18. Another hidden combination that you know is a draw one, but it can be a winning one if your opponent plays it not well. And it's possible to make mistakes, being short on time. I think definitely Daria wants to go for that. If Daria plays 8-12, she increases her chances, in my opinion. If Daria plays 8-12. Perhaps after 20-25, there is still this combination after this attack, but now it gives this possibility, perhaps. Or maybe such combination must appear anyhow, and anyway in this position, something like that will happen. 5 against 3. It's not easy because you cannot prevent black from going to the king, yeah? Because if you had one more tempo like that, and you could prepare this immediate catching 1 for 1, then it would be okay. But now, it's not easy. And I think this variant forces us to get to the position where Daria goes to 45 without 2 pieces. Ladies and gentlemen, that becomes very, very interesting. Very interesting. And lady who you can see on the camera is, in my opinion, the only one that can win the game and win the match in this game. Victoria Motrichko under the big, big pressure. What will be played? What will be chosen by Daria Tkachenko, representing Netherlands? 4-time world champion, never losing a match person. Perhaps now Daria again knows how difficult, how important this moment could be. She can't make the combination we previously saw. 13-18, not 8-13 again. I don't know to which moment you mentioned, Marta. I think Victoria feels it. I think Victoria feels it that such a line with such a combination is possible here. And even it can be played after so many different variants. Maybe something like that is also calculated by Daria. You can't play here because of this majority. You must take 2 pieces and black goes to the king. And after this move, there is this combination again. Looks like better one because cheaper one. But a draw, because after that you have this sticky move. No matter where black takes, you take 2. I wrote a variant earlier. I have some problem with the comments then, because they don't display right now. I don't know why. So your previous probably variant was not displayed on YouTube, Marta. This is the moment. Ciao, guys. Ciao, Luca. Ciao, ciao, ciao. Siciliano? Was that like that? Ladies and gentlemen, 5 minutes spent by Daria on this decision. So another move that takes 4th part of the entire time given for the game. That could be the moment of the match. 40 thumbs up. We go to 50. Come on. 10 more, please. 10 more thumbs up. Let's do it. For Victoria or for Daria, whoever you are for. We have it. 8-10, 8-12, 8-12 move by Victoria. Daria, sorry. 8-12. And it means that if, at this moment, if now Victoria plays here, she loses probably. After this move. And if she doesn't play here, of course she can't play here because she loses with this combination. It means Victoria must make this move. And this move leads Daria to the combination. And this combination will be played, ladies and gentlemen, because we have this attack. And Daria will play here 20-25. Yes, this is going on. And we get to this position, which is very dangerous one for Victoria. This is 5 against 3. If Victoria gets to the king, she draws the game. But ladies and gentlemen, to play a draw in such an endgame, it is very complicated, it's very difficult. Computer can show you the right line to bring your pieces over and to make a draw. But for human, it is very difficult. I think this could be decisive game of the match. This could be decisive endgame for Daria Tkachenko, because to be honest, she is not losing that. Look how far those pieces are to the king. 2 more, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 moves to be made to turn into a king, to save a draw. Extremely difficult. And already you can see the first move is a mistake probably. The first move made by Victoria could be the decisive mistakes. Daria goes for a king, attacking it. If you go forward there, you make a double attack. You get 1 piece, you win the game. You must block it. By blocking it, you can come here and try to attack from behind maybe? What's the idea? What's the point? After that, perhaps bringing your piece closer. This could be the moment. This could be the moment of deciding this match. This is the end, I think, Martina says. What do you think? Let me know on the chat. If Daria will handle it. We've seen already during the regular games, when Daria Tkachenko missed the victory opportunity, she played a draw. Now she is thinking maybe she is not wanting to multiply the bad moves from the previous phase of the game. Is Daria Tkachenko a winner? Is Daria Tkachenko a women's world champion? This is very tough, difficult endgame, but probably it is winning for black. Probably it is winning for Daria Tkachenko. That could be a mistake that I can't even understand at this moment, ladies and gentlemen. This endgame requires some deeper analysis. This is a very difficult one. Sometimes you miss yourself in the endgames. Sometimes even grandmasters don't play it right. We've had experiences like that. During this match, We can recall the game between Yuri and Nikeyev trying to win against Jan Hrunendijk. Totally winnable, totally winning position. Ended in a draw. Now Daria Tkachenko, if playing it right, can become the world champion. But she has only 2 minutes. I think there are still many mistakes to happen in this endgame. It is possible. A moment for us to do something else than just watching games. That's right, you can involve yourself in trying to find the right line. Is Daria playing to 50, to 45? Maybe it is the missing move after this 28. Yeah, it is a draw again. It is a draw again, but ladies and gentlemen, I think it is not done yet. Why you use the king? I would prefer to use the piece after all to come here. Because you know, this king, when it's moved here, it must be moved away. And then this piece 22 can go further. I don't buy this move by Daria. But still, it's a very, very complicated endgame, and players are short on time, having less than 2 minutes on making the most important decision of the year, maybe of the entire lives. You never know, maybe this title could be the most important in their lives. That was probably a mistake by Daria Tkachenko. Going to 45. Looks like it is equalizing the game, but now Victoria, you can see it on the camera, she is down to less than 1 minute, 2 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock of Daria Tkachenko. That could be a very problematic situation for Victoria, because she might another probably losing move. Could it be or not? Okay, computer after longer thinking is saying that it is a draw. Anyway, but I think we'll see some other mistakes here, because this is the position for the mistakes. What's the plan of Daria? She wants to put this piece further? Yeah, she goes with 15-20. If she comes to 24, could be promising. I think this is necessary to stop this piece by playing there. Victoria reaches for that one and goes 35-30. That's right. What could be the idea right now? Perhaps here and here? You know, something like that and that? To play like that and lose the game? 2 for 3. Maybe that's the way how Daria wants to prepare some traps? Because she must prepare some traps. I think this is the only logical way. Here, here, maybe trying to catch this piece, but also holding this one here. Honestly, after this move 8-13, the drawing possibilities after sacrificing 1, 2 and 3 pieces. But it is really difficult to calculate that if it is not losing, because in case this or this piece was in the other place, then it would be losing. It is a draw, luckily. But if Victoria will see it, that's a very complicated thing, you know? I don't think it's an easy thing to do, to see that this move is a draw. And Victoria is down to 30 seconds. That could be the moment of the match. That is the move played here. So Victoria is not reaching the first draw possible in this game. It's probably not the last moment of this game. Drafts got. Daria plays further. So now, according to computer, the best move to play is this one, this sacrifice. That's tough. If you play here, you go there. Sorry, not here, but here. 2 for 3, and this is winning. This is winning. It's like a chain used to stop 2 pieces. But it must be played. Victoria goes there! It's a losing move! It's a losing move! And Daria goes for that for 45. Ladies and gentlemen, that could be the end. This is the winning endgame for Daria Tkachenko. Come on. This is winning one. You win against 2 pieces in the central part. This is the final moment of the match. This must be victory of Daria. Here it goes. There is the attack. Here, Daria waits. That is probably, that's the end. That's the end, ladies and gentlemen. I was feeling before the round that it will happen. It will decide in this round, and it happened. Both Ukrainians are losing the titles. Ladies and gentlemen, Daria Tkachenko becomes for the 5th time in her career undefeatable. She is still undefeated in the world champion matches. Daria Tkachenko, for the 5th time, is becoming the world champion. Daria Tkachenko joins the Jan Groenendijk, and 2nd title is won for Netherlands. Yesterday, Jan Groenendijk, today, Daria Tkachenko. We are all free after such dramatic endgame, ladies and gentlemen. Victoria, being short on time, plays this move that is losing the game. So the only possibility of drawing it was to sacrifice the piece here, because you can't go here, otherwise you take 2 pieces. You take 2, and you sacrifice another one. And that way, you have the option to force yourself to go to 6, then sacrifice 2 pieces, and save a draw. Even after going here, you go here. Here, you can even now sacrifice 2 pieces and go for a breakthrough. It's not a difficult endgame, but as I told you before, this is the endgame that generates problems. This is the endgame that generates mistakes. That was exactly how it happened. So in this position, that is, honestly, that is the perfect scenario how the match was played. So without a bigger advantage, but with creating circumstances to make the mistakes, Daria Tkachenko put her opponent under the pressure of the time and used her mistakes. Rob Arsten, thank you for the subscription. Yeah, Daria deserved for sure. She was just better. 2 current, 1 day ago, world champions are losing the title. And now Jan Groenendijk and Daria Tkachenko are the new world champions, winning it on Dutch soil in Wageningen 2024. This decisive mistake. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for being here with me, with the players, being the part of this event for 2 weeks. That was part of the deal. That was part of the time devoted, some time of my life and your life as well, to watch it. As I announced before, you can find on this channel much more streams coming in the future. So I hope you will be still with me. We'll play some random games, we'll organize some tournaments, some leagues, we'll make some coachings, some lessons about how to play drafts better. Perhaps one of you one day will be playing for the world title match, and I hope that it will happen and I will have the occasion to comment it and live through this moment with you. Thanks, Damian, great time. Thank you very much, Martina. Thank you, everyone, being so active on the chat. Thank you very much, Eriks, for being such an active one. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all the thumbs up, for all the subscriptions, for all the donations, especially, of course, to Franz de Jong. Thank you very much. And from this moment, I can wish you already to have a great year 2024. Sorry, that one, I hope that was very successful for you, but I wish you the best in upcoming 2025. So it could be very successful according to the sport things, like the drafts ones, but also your personal and business ones. And thank you for being this year, spending this year with me, and I hope to see you here also in upcoming 2025. Thank you very much for watching. Take care. It was a pleasure to comment it for you. And see you soon. Goodbye.